Hi children, today we are discussing class 8 history lesson The Rebellion of 1857. We know that India was a British colony for a long time and got freedom in 1947. In this lesson we can discuss about how Indians started the first war of independence. The 1857 revolt was popularly known as India's first war of independence. We know that India was a rich country famous for spices. Our country had good business relationship with European Persian countries. Arabs came first to trade with India. After then the Portuguese, the Dutch, English, the French, all these people came here. All these started business with India and soon they started fighting with each other to gain the monopoly of business in India. The East India Company established itself as a political power in India after the Battle of Buxar and Plassey. Then the British introduced many unjust policies for their expansion in India, which include exploitation and administration innovations that destroyed the traditional economic conditions of Indian society. The strict laws of the British implemented affected the power of the kings, queens, rajas, nawabs, landlords, peasants, tribals, and soldiers. These all sections lost their power and authority. So let us discuss how all these sections started a rebellion against the British. The causes of the rebellion. Since the mid-18th century, Nawabs and Rajas had seen their powers erode. They lost their authority and honor. British residents had been stationed in many courts. These residents interfered in the local affairs of the rulers. The freedom of rulers reduced. Rulers' army disbanded and their revenue and territories were taken away. To protect their interest, many ruling families tried to negotiate with the British East India Company. Rani Lakshmi Bai of Jhansi wanted the company to recognize her adopted son as the heir to the kingdom after the death of her husband. Like Nana Sahib, the adopted son of Peshwa Bajirao II, pleaded that he be given his father's pension, but the company turned down his plea. Obviously, all these increased the anger against British, and Awadh was one of the territory annexed in 1801 by the policy of subsidiary alliance. Subsidiary means the rulers have to maintain the British army in the court and pay some amount as grant. If the ruler failed to pay the amount, a part of territory will grab as a compensation for the tax. Further, in 1856, the entire Awadh was taken by this policy. Next, the Mughal dynasty's end was another target of the British. Bahadur Shah Zafar was recognized as the last Mughal emperor, and the Governor General of that time, Canning, stated that after Bahadur Shah, nobody else will be recognized as the emperor. They will be recognized as princes only. And he was moved out of the Red Fort. So, not only the Nawabs from the Nawabs to Mughals, everybody lost their power. The peasants and landlords. Next, we can see how did the peasants react for the rebellion. Firstly, the peasants started the revolt as they have to pay high amount of tax. Even though the crops are failed, people are forced to pay the tax amount. And the zamindars was to collect high amount of tax. They have to maintain rigid methods for collecting tax at any cost. Many of farmers could not pay taxes properly in time. They also failed to pay back the loans taken from the money lenders and losing their land. Then the ruination of handicraft, exploitation by moneylenders, and poverty were forced the people to revolt against the British. Next, the Sepoys. Indian Sepoys are also dissatisfied. Then, what is their problem? There are new rules which dissatisfied the Sepoys. Firstly, their paying allowances was very low compared with the English soldiers. They are not matching with the work they are doing. And secondly, certain rules are questioning their religious belief. Many of them believed that when they crossed the sea, they lost their belief, they lost their purity. So they refused to travel beyond India's frontiers to fight for the British. In 1824, when they forced to go to Burma, many soldiers argued to go through land routes than waterways. In 1856, Company made new rules stating that anyone was working with the company should follow the company rules. No excuses will be given on the basis of religious belief. Otherwise, they will not allowed to take the job. Moreover, the Indian soldiers have less chance of getting higher posts compared with the British soldiers. So, Indian farmers, peasants, sepoys are highly dissatisfied towards the British, and moreover, most of the soldiers are from peasants' family. That is the reason for the widespread of the revolt.